Welcome, everybody, to the Sports Lab, where we talk everything and anything about sports. I am Legend, and with me, as always, my co-host, Coach Core.
Hey, how's it going, guys? I'm excited. It's our first podcast, and let's kick it off right away with a huge topic. Baseball's back, baby. The new 2020 MLB season. We're gonna be hitting you guys with the new COVID protocols, the new 60-game schedule, and we're gonna hit you with those new divisions. What's gonna be happening in that season? Let's jump right into it. Let's hit those COVID protocols, Legend. Players are gonna be tested every other day.
Let me interrupt you real quick before we get into this. Tell me, 2020 MLB season, what do we call it this year? Is it the COVID season? Is it the coronavirus
season? COVID season. It's not the Corona season. It's got to be the COVID season. Everything's gonna be different. Things are different this year. It's got to be asterisk COVID season.
It's got to be different, right? Everything is different, and we're going to get into that for you guys. But, hey, this is going to be a different kind of season. It's just going to start off just different when you walk into the clubhouse, when you leave the clubhouse, when you're playing in between the lines. Everything about this season is going to be different. So I think somewhere in there, somewhere down the line, it's going to say COVID 2020 season or something different. There's got to be something in there down the line in the books later that it was a 2020 COVID season.
Throwback to when they hit the walk-off in the COVID season, right? Something like that, I agree. It's going to be different.
Last time someone hit 400 was in the COVID season, right? Just 60 games, stuff like that. I don't know. I think it'll just be different, but I just wanted to – sorry for interrupting you, Coach. Let's get into those rules, though. Go ahead and take over.
Let's start, COVID-19. These players are going to be tested every other day, and they're going to be getting their temperature checks every day, twice a day. So they're getting those temps checked twice a day. So the MLB is staying on top of things. I think they're doing a real good job. They got a good line what they want to do, and I think they're going to do well as long as it comes to the manager and coaching and players' point to hold accountable now.
Yeah, no, I couldn't agree more with you, Coach. I think MLB's done a great job. They put together a great format for these guys to follow to try and keep them as safe as they can. Somewhere down the line, people are going to get this virus. They're going to keep getting it. And there's only so much Major League Baseball can do. Give them kudos for everything they have done. They've done awesome. I'm impressed so far with some of the guidelines they have put out there for teams. So I expect teams to abide by these day in and day out. I know it's going to be tough. I know it's going to be extremely tough. But for everybody to stay safe, for us to finish out the season, not play 5-10 games and have breakouts and the season's canceled, I think they're going to have to do this. And it's going to be interesting, Coach, to see what these guys do in the clubhouses, ownerships, when 1, 2, maybe 3 guys get the virus. Are they going to be able to contain that? Now, like I said, Major League Baseball has done an awesome job of putting out guidelines for these guys, but they're going to have to, like you said, players, managers, they're going to have to be accountable for making sure to abide by those, because if they don't, we might see, a nasty breakout within one clubhouse, and then what do we do? Where do we go from there? Does that team just be eliminated from the season? I don't know. So I think it would be interesting to kind of see. It's going to be a day by day. COVID-19, coronavirus, whatever it is, whatever you want to call it, has changed day by day. And I think it's going to continue to do that, and you'll see that throughout the MLB season as well.
Yeah, I think it's going to be different. It's something new. We're all going through new things. Things might have to change throughout the year with COVID-19, but I think they're doing a great job, and the players and clubs just have to do their part. And if they do their part, they're gonna be able to have a full 60-game season, and we'll be able to see a champ this year. And I'm just glad baseball's back. I think players, if they have to get tested every other day and their temperatures checked twice a day to have baseball, that's what they're gonna do, because they want to play baseball. They want to go out there and win a ring this year.
What's going to be an interesting point, Coach, is when someone also does get the virus, what are they going to do with these guys? Where are they going to put these guys up in? I know a lot of these guys are requesting, players-wise, they're saying, hey, we get the virus, we want to be back home for the 14-day quarantine. So I don't know what they're going to do about that. Do they have rules for that? I don't know. I'm just throwing that out there as another kind of thought. Like,
That's like if they're on the road and one tests positive, are they going to fly that player back on the same flight? Are they going to drive him in a car back home so he can quarantine and be healthy at home? Exactly. What are they going to do about that? There's things that things are going to happen that's going to be new, and they're just going to have to get over it, figure out at that moment what they're going to do.
right, to be safe, right? I mean, for the safety of not just the player and their family, but the safety of other players,
Yeah,
other families.
the whole organization,
You can't
everyone out
just
there,
throw
players,
you
coaches.
can't just throw a guy with COVID on another plane. So that's not okay, right? So they're gonna have to have, and I'm sure somewhere down the line, guys way higher than us, coach, has some kind of plan. I'm hoping for
Oh, yeah.
things like that. So I just thought I'd throw that out there. Just another thought there. Um,
I think we have good things to look forward to. I think we're gonna see a full season this year. The NBA just tested 300 of their players, and not a single test came back positive. Good news over there in the bubble in Orlando. They're doing a great job. The NBA, great job over there. We just now it's up to us in the MLB to see if we can do the exact same thing and keep our guys healthy.
No, yeah, no, definitely. I think they will. I really think they will. I think these guys are all going to come together and show that it can be done. And I think that's what's going to happen. These guys want to play. We want to see them play, and it's going to happen. I think we're going to see, like you said, baseball, 60 games of it, and then some playoff baseball. So it's going to be exciting. It's going to be fun,
Be fun.
and I'm ready for it. I think
So let's jump into if a player does test positive. There's not a restricted 14-day quarantine if they do test positive, not a 15-day DL kind of thing. No, they're just as long as they test negative twice, they're able to return back to the team. They just got to test negative twice for that COVID test, and they're able to come back. No minimum, no maximum to be on a list. I like that rule. As long as they're tested negative twice, they're able to come back to their team.
Yeah, it's an interesting rule. Again, I mean, if that's CDC approves stuff like that, then hey, I'm all for it. As long as it's safe and it's okay, then let's do it. Let's roll with it. And if they're testing negative, they're not asymptomatic, then let them go. You know, let them out there and play ball. Let's go.
I think what are they? How are these players gonna not bump fists, touch hands? How are they gonna social distance? It's baseball, you hit a walk off home run, you're up there dog piling each other, you're out there fist bumps, all that stuff. What are they gonna do? Spitting sunflower seeds, chewing gum? How are they gonna not allow this type of stuff to happen in baseball?
Yeah, that's going to be hard to cut out. I think the sunflower seeds are pretty easy, right? You just don't take them to the game. They don't take them. Usually those things are sitting out there with hundreds of them sitting in the dugout. So I think they just get rid of those. But yeah, no doubt about it. I think some fist bumping, you're going to see guys just naturally do that. You're going to see a guy fist bump a guy out of just pure emotion, and it's going to happen. We just got to eliminate it as much as we can. I'm guessing, I think that's the best way is obviously eliminating it to minimum. And if we could do that, then I think you're going to have a less of a spread and hopefully no kind of spread.
It is baseball though. Baseball players, they're creative. They're in those dugouts a long period of time, and they're gonna have fun with it. They're gonna figure out new ways to fist bump and new ways to high five. They're gonna figure out new things. They're creative in those dugouts. There's characters. They got personalities. I think they'll figure things out and make the game fun for themselves.
No doubt. I couldn't agree more. I think it goes back to, like we said, creativity is baseball players, and it always has been. They always come up with some fun, exciting things, and this is just going to add to the mix. You'll see some fun, creative stuff. I promise you, these guys are very creative.
Well, I think that covers all those COVID-19 topics there. Let's hop into the in-game rules, the new game rules we'll see this year for the 2020 season. We got a couple new ones. Let's kick it off with the DH in the National League, DH in the American League, something that was coming for a long time. And I think people are finally happy to see it. I think it's here to stay. It's not just going to be here for the new COVID season, as we're calling it. I think it's here to stay.
Yeah, you're right about that one too, Coach. I think the DH is definitely here for the long run. It's been trying to sneak into the National League for years to come, and it's finally the 60-game COVID season is going to be the season it got to sneak in, So and here it goes. So we'll see how it goes. We'll see how the trial run goes, and I think it's going to be here to stay. I really do. I think it's going to be a fun season. You'll see more home runs. You'll see more runs. And with that being said, that's what the younger generation wants to see. So they will be doing that. You'll see a lot of home runs, I think, this year because of that DH spot in the National League. So it will up it up a lot, and it should be exciting. I'm excited about it. I really
Yeah.
am. I've always been a fan of kind of the DH. Don't get me wrong. I like to see strategic baseball, and the pitcher in the nine hole or the pitcher hitting was always, got to be strategic from both sides of the dugout.
Without the pitchers, we're not going to see the sacrifice bunt. The sacrifice bunt hasn't been much in the game of baseball recently anyway. The past 5 to 10 years, the sacrifice bunt, it's not around anymore. But without the pitcher out there with the bunt, it's not going to happen. Are we going to see a bunt this year? How many are we going to see? I think we're just going to see more home runs, less bunting, and I like the bunt. I like to move them over, scoring thing. The old school type of baseball. But you know what? This is what people want. People want the long ball, and this is the time to have the DH. The perfect time to try things out with this COVID season.
No, yeah, it is. It is, and I think it's going to be fun. It will be an exciting year this year with the DH there. 60 games is
we might see the National League outscore the American League in the first time in a long time.
Oh, that's a great point. We might just see that. It'll be interesting to see. Although the American League has some big time sluggers on that side.
Let's hop into the next rule here. We got the new bullpen rule coming out of the bullpen. You have to face 3 batters now. You can't just come in and face one. You got to face all 3. Lefty can't come in and face the other lefty. He's got to face other 2 guys. How do you feel about that, Legend? Is this a takeaway from the manager? Does the manager have to think more? How do you feel as a manager with this new rule?
Coach, let me tell you right now, this rule is horrible. This is one of the worst rules MLB has ever came up with. There's nothing to do with the game of baseball. It has everything to do with shortening the time of the game of baseball, which makes me sick to my stomach. It's ridiculous. Makes no sense at all. I got to leave a guy in there for 3 innings. The game of baseball, my guy might have it that day or he might not. And as a manager, you will see that as soon as he takes the mound, that first pitch that he throws when he gets up there. You could see that as a manager. You could see in the body language of your pitcher instantly. And I think with this rule, it handcuffs the managers, and it's a horrible rule. And I think it's just a rule that was made up
to shorten the game of baseball. That's all it is. It's to shorten.
I don't want to be mean. I don't want to talk mean about those guys that are making up these rules and ruining the game of baseball. So let's just not go there. But I will tell you that this rule is a horrible rule. It's going to take a lot from the game. I'm like I said, what are we going to do when a guy comes up there and is just not feeling it, and the first batter, 4 straight balls. Next guy, 4 straight balls. So I got to leave him in there for the 3rd guy to walk the bases loaded. That just blows me away. It blows me away.
I think about it too. The manager as well. He might have to think a little harder. Do I have to bring this? I have to bring him in for 3 batters. Who do I bring in? Do I bring the lefty in to get the first lefty out and face 2 righties? How do I feel about that? I think they might have to think more. But as a manager, I would love to be able to bring my lefty in for the lefty batter, take him out, bring in the righty for 2 batters. They're done with the inning, just like that. I think it's a horrible rule as well. It's just not fair to the game of baseball. It's not baseball, like you said.
Yeah, it's not. It's just a horrible rule. Here's the deal about it. 60 games. I think we get through the 60 games, and I think we don't see it again.
It's the time to try things out. It's the COVID year, right? 60-game season, try everything out. Perfect time for them to try this out.
And I'll be honest with you, coaches. I'm glad that it's only gonna be for 60, and I don't have to deal with this crap for a whole full season of it.
Correct.
So I think the 60 games, I'll deal with it this year, but please.
That's what I'm saying. I think the same way.
Get rid of
the exact same thing. It's perfect time to try things. It's the perfect time to do this. I'm not a fan of it, but they're doing it at the right time. They're not doing a full season. We got 60 games of it, and I think they're gonna see. Let's throw this rule behind us. Let's throw it in the trash because this is horrible. No one liked it. Let's take a fan of the votes. Let's take a fan vote. What do the fans want after this year? That's what they're doing it for, the fans, right? Let's take a fan vote.
Yeah. No.
Let's hop off that rule. Let's hop into the next one. Uh, Extra innings, guy on second base. How you
Yeah.
feel?
This is an interesting rule. It was a kind of I didn't think it was coming this year, to be honest. And then kind of when I heard about it, um, yeah, I think they kind of been messing with it a little bit in the farm systems, right? I think AAA maybe last year was.
Yep.
It's a real interesting rule. Maybe I'll let you get into that a little bit, kind of more of it. I know back in the day we used to call it a California rule, so it's kind of been a rule that's been around baseball for a long time,
It's
but it
been
hasn't been in the major league systems or anything like that.
Let me hop into it more. People might not know what it is. So automatic guy on second base in extra innings. The last guy who made the out the inning before, he gets to second base, right? So there's a guy on second base, nobody out. But if that run does score, it doesn't count against the pitcher's ERA. It just counts as an unearned run that the pitcher got or that guy got on as an error. So it doesn't count against the pitcher, but there is a free double on second base to start the inning off.
Right. Yeah. Hey, if you're the hitter, man, there you go. Got a free RBI just sitting out
Hey,
there.
3 RBIs, or maybe we just talked about the sack bunt. Is the sack bunt going to come back in extra innings? Are you going to no outs, guy on second, bunt him over to third, 1 out, guy on third, fly ball, ground ball, scores the guy? Maybe we see it then. Maybe that's the only time we see the sack bunt. Who knows?
No, yeah, I think so. Hey, if I'm a manager, I'm sure thinking about having a guy on the bench that can come in extra innings, drop that bunt down, guy on third, one out.
Let's bring in a pitcher to bunt. That's all they used to do. He's probably the best bunter on the team. Let's bring him in, a pitcher to pitch it to bunt.
Yes, you might
Might
need
happen.
that. Hey, who knows? Maybe that's when we'll see some bunting.
The thing is, it's the time to try this rule. Not a huge fan of it. Time to do it. Obviously, it's the perfect time to do it. They're not doing it in the postseason or the World Series, so that's okay. Do it in the regular season. Let playoff baseball be playoff baseball. No free doubles and extra innings. So I'm not that mad about it. This rule won't be going into the playoff baseball.
Yeah, I got a question for you here, though, Coach. Is this a rule that stays? Is
I,
this a
I
rule that stays after this 2020 season?
That's a good question. I don't think it will, but there's a possibility it might because the seasons are so long. Going into extra innings a lot. It could be. If it was a 60-game season all the time, I don't think it's here to stay because you can play extra inning games all the time. Tough question there. I still don't think it's going to stay. I think fans are going to be a little upset about an automatic guy on second base, that this rule stays in COVID season.
Okay. Okay. Hey, it's not a bad. It's a tough question, like I said, but I think it's one that needed to be asked, and I think you answered it well. So who knows? I think it has a solid opportunity to stay in though too, because Major League Baseball is all about shortening the game.
Yeah.
Sitting there sometimes for 4.5 hours for an extra inning game, and Major League Baseball is not all about that for whatever reason. So they might be here to stay, like you said. Maybe extra innings. We do this California rule for the regular season. Come playoff baseball, we throw that out the window. So I don't know. We'll see. Who knows? This year, I'm not mad about it again though. About the 60 games, I think it's a good trial run for all these rules. To be honest with you, so it's going to be kind of fun to see how it all ends up. We got a couple. Those are 3 big rules, to be honest.
Huge. Those are huge games. Those are huge rules that are going to change the game.
Right. You eliminate the pitcher from the NL. He's always going to be hitting, right? 3-inning rule with your pitcher is going to be crazy for the pen.
Yeah.
And then extra innings. I mean, extra inning baseball happens all the time. So now we'll see how these teams are going to be able to take advantage of that guy on second. And that goes back to what you had said with, are we going to bunt more? Are we going to just see more guys swinging for the fence again, swinging through it, So we'll see what happens there.
Yeah, good rule. See what happens. It's going to be different season, like you said. It's going to be fun, total different things going on. Interesting season. Let's hop into the 60-game schedule and what's going on there. Shortened season. We got a big difference in our schedules and what's happening. 60 games, of course. and the AL East will only play the NL East. The AL Central will only play the NL Central. The AL West will only play the NL West. So they're only going to be playing their cross division, AL East, NL East. How do you feel about that? I think it's a great mix up to the 2020 season. Total different, something I'm excited about.
No, yeah, me too. It was another one of those things, kind of like that. Those other rules that kind of got thrown in there is it's just something that I wasn't expecting, and I think it's really cool. It's just going to be different, just like the rest of the season. So that's why I'm kind of excited about it. Is you'll see a little bit more of interleague play the whole season. You'll see some teams not play any teams, obviously, right?
Yeah.
So until playoff baseball, so some teams will not even play that team at all year. So
Let me hop into that. So, like the AL East, the New York Yankees, they're not going to play any of the AL Central, any of the AL West until they get into playoff baseball. So, playoff baseball is going to be fresh. You're not seeing that arm all year. You're not seeing Garrett Cole all year long. And then you got to face Garrett Cole. Interesting point there.
Oh yeah, no doubt. I think it should be very different. The 60 games is just going to be different in itself. So the way that they did the scheduling, I think, is very interesting. You're going to get a lot more crosstown rivals action for Cubs, White Sox, for instance. Um, just some of those different kind of rivalries that you'll see more of. And like I said, interleague play I always thought was fun, and now you get interleague play with DHs on both sides of the.
We get Mets, Yankees a lot this year. AL East, NL East. We get Cubbies, White Sox, AL Central, NL Central. Gonna be fun. Like you said, rivalries are gonna be coming out more. The Cubbies play the White Sox end of the season series in Chicago White Sox Park. Who knows what could happen there? Who knows if the Cubbies are playing into
Yeah.
a playoff spot? Who knows if the White Sox are playing into a playoff spot? These teams are rivals. You know, you want to knock that team out of a playoff spot.
No, yeah, definitely. And it's funny you say that. I got the Cubs inching with the Reds there, and that last game for the Cubs, I think is going to be a huge one. So yeah, I think that you're totally right on that. I wish there was fans in the stands though for those games, especially those Yankee.
Hey, the MLB hasn't brought out fans yet. They haven't said fans aren't gonna be for the whole year. It's not happening yet. Fans might be allowed towards the end of the season.
Wouldn't that be
It
fun?
might be at like a 25% capacity, but hey, 25% fans is better than 0% fans out there.
Yeah, wouldn't that be fun? That'd be a lot of fun.
So with this 60-game season, without fans in the stand, these players got to be motivated to go play. How do you think about that? How do they go out there motivated to go play from day one?
Oh, these are professional athletes, coach. You shouldn't need fans in the stands to get motivated. These guys are big league guys. They should be out there wanting to win every single game. And I think you'll see that. I don't think you'll see any kind of I think the intensity level should be real high, to be honest with you. I think they should be out there competing at the highest level, 110% every single day. Getting into that with the 60 games, you should see these pitchers being able to go deeper into games because it's only a 60-game season. They're only going to be, starting pitchers 10, 12 games maybe. So they should be able to throw 130 pitches easy. So we should see more complete games. Stuff like that. Pitchers going deeper into games, not getting pulled in the fifth, sixth innings this year. I expect pitchers to be deeper. I expect hitters and fielders to be there every single day playing in the lineup, not getting pulled for rest days every week. I expect these guys to be out there grinding it out, expecting to win every game. Every game matters in this shortened 60-game season. We got to make sure that these guys are going out there and competing every single day, pitch day in and day out. Now, I'm not saying in a full season they don't do that, but we know how it goes with 162. Sometimes you lose a game and it's okay. We got the next day. Well, there's no next day here. Team jumps out on you real early, and they get a jump start on you. 7-8 game lead. It's going to be hard to come back from those kind of down that far. So.
I agree. I think from day one, opening day, it's balls to the walls baseball. First pitch to the last pitch of every game, you have to be there, focused up all game long, balls to the wall energy, because every game matters. It doesn't matter if it's game one or game two. If you lose game one, you can't say, oh, we still got 100 games left. No, because every game matters from game one. Game two matters. Game three matters. Every game matters. They got to get these guys ready to go out there. Pitchers, like he said, 140 pitches. Go throw a complete game shutout. Go throw a no-hitter. Go throw 140 pitches. If it takes 160, do it. You only got 12 starts. Go out there and do it.
Oh, exactly. Yeah, I couldn't agree more. And you know, the 60-game season, we're going to see a little bit different in stats, right? Our stats should be a little bit different. Pitchers, hitters, we might see 12-0.
Oh, I was going to say we're going to see a 12-0 pitcher. It happens every year. You see a pitcher win 12 games in a row. It happens. A pitcher is going to win 12 games in a row. It's going to happen. And I think this is the year you're going to see an undefeated 12-0 pitcher.
It would be impressive, but to add to that, you're going to see guys that struggle win 1-2 games. They're going to go 1-9, 1-10. They're going to really struggle this year.
And they could be stud muffin bigotes. They could be the cats of all meows. You know, we could have a Clayton Kershaw going out there freaking 1-9, 1-10. You just don't know, because maybe they didn't get the practice they needed in summer camp, as they're calling it this year. You know, maybe their arms aren't honed in. Maybe maybe we'll see the cat's meow stud muffin go at the plate only hit 190. You know, Cody Bellinger 180. You just don't know what's gonna happen this year.
Well, hey, coach, to get into that is 190. Well, baseball is a different kind of human, right? 162 games, you could struggle usually early. You can hit 190 through 60 games and still at the end of the year hit 290. Yeah. 280. So that's what I think this year is baseball players are used to, okay, I got tomorrow, you know, I got the next day. Well, hey, in the 60-game shortened season, you don't got too many games. But I do think we will see the 400 hitters. I do think you will see ERAs way down there, low ERAs, high ERAs, by our superstars, by our stud muffin gotes, like you call them. Hitters, I think you will see 410, coach. I really do think you'll see a guy way up there this year. But I do think you will see guys struggle, guys that are slow starters. For instance, Anthony Rizzo, a slow starter, usually slow starter, then gets really hot at the end of the year. Is he going to be able to adjust to this 60 games and come out swinging early? I don't know. I don't think everybody will be able to. And getting into that real quick, I know we don't have a lot of time, coach. It's just, you know, our rookies and our rookies are going to be able to make a splash for themselves also through 60 games. A lot of pitchers won't get used to seeing them, and they're going to, I think they'll have a good chance to do really well through the 60 games.
Couldn't agree more. I think there's going to be a lot happening. I think, like you said, stud muffs are going to do great. Some are going to do bad. You're going to see a lot of rookies with a good chance this year to step up and make a name for themselves. I really do. With this shortened season, people, like you said, they're not going to be able to know how to pitch these guys yet through 60 games. I think we should wrap it up here. It's been a great podcast. We talked about the whole 2019 season, the new protocols to MLB
2020
game season, you know, the new divisions. It's going to be so much fun this year. Baseball's back, and I'm just so excited that we have baseball.
Yeah, no, hey, great. Hey, I had a blast with you guys. Hey, I just want to thank you guys all for listening today. It's been an absolute blast. Like he said at the beginning, this is one of our first podcasts, and we just had a lot of fun. I had a lot of fun, Coach. I don't know about you, and I'm excited to do more of these podcasts. It's going to be a long season, but short, 60 games, but it's going to be a long season for us, and we're going to be here for you guys to get through this COVID 2020 season. So keep following. If you haven't followed yet, if you haven't subscribed yet to our stuff, please go do that. Continue listening. We do appreciate it, and we appreciate all the love, and I am out. Thanks again.
We're out. Thanks for coming to the lab, guys. Remember, like, share, subscribe. Appreciate you all. We love you all. We're out.
Sports Lab, baby.